Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TradingPub.com Daily Report. Appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in. And real quick, before we get started, just give you a quick second to read through a standard risk disclaimer. Again, we're not making any kind of recommendations here, just sharing some general thoughts in the overall market. Real quick, before we get into the two markets that we're going to focus on today, just to share with you the TradingPub rule of the day is that liars figure, but figures never lie. And something that you hear us talk a lot about is always watch the numbers. So try to tune out some of the noise that you hear about, the world coming to an end, or that this is the next best thing, or this stock's going to, keep going up forever and ever. But really focus on the numbers, what the overall market's telling you. So again, extremely important to focus on the numbers, and that's the TradingPub rule of the day. A couple things as far as news goes today that we'd like to point out. Obviously, still got a lot of news and confidence that's been destroyed with the MF Global news. But one thing that's really a good column to kind of start the day on Benzinga's Financial Breakfast, and it just kind of gives you a morning news summary. You've got Toyota's report. You've got rumors circulating out of Italy that their prime minister is going to be forced to resign. And then a really good recap of the overnight session. This is with overseas trading, that you see that the European markets are higher in the afternoon trading. The FTSE that was up about 1.3%, DAX up about 1.5%, France up 1.4%. So you're seeing that Europe was higher. Asia actually started out a little bit weak that you see here. So notice that Asia was weak, Japan was down, and then the rally started in Europe. So again, a lot of news coming out of Europe. Definitely have to keep a close eye on that. And then one more thing, just to point out, and we'll talk a little bit about today. You see metal soaring, copper lagging. We're going to talk about gold and an outlook for gold. And you see here is some news on GLD. GLD's been up a whole lot. Last week in our video, we talked about the 1780 area that we were focusing on in gold, and we've now approached that level. So we'll take a look at the gold chart in just a few minutes. So again, just two good articles there. Again, the Financial Breakfast kind of get your day started, and then a look at gold. Now let's take a look at the overall S&P futures. And if you look at the S&P from overnight, remember from the Financial Breakfast article, we saw that Asia was down, and you see that the S&P futures sold off overnight. And look at what time the reversal started. Notice 2 o'clock a.m. That's 2 Central Time, which is 3 Eastern. That's when the European markets open. So again, the DAX starts trading around 3 Eastern. You see that the U.S. markets then began to bottom out around the 1250 area. We rallied up to 1256, which is the yearly open on the S&Ps, a pivotal area. Notice we continued to rally. We came up to about 1263, 1264, came back to 1259, rallied back to 63, 64, came back to 60, then started to rally again, and this morning we went right up to 1269. So some numbers to keep in mind today. We expect to see support here at this 1256. Below 1256 we'll look at 1250, and then 1245 and 1242. And then to the upside, expect some resistance around the 62 to 63 area, and then up at 1269 will be another area to watch. So again, those are some important numbers in the S&P. You see the euro. Again, the euro is pretty much going to be the same story as the S&P and the overall market because of everything going on in Europe. So if you look at the euro right here, notice this big sell-off here. Notice the big sell-off in the S&P. Notice the rally in the euro overnight. Notice the rally in the S&P overnight. So again, you've got to watch the euro. Got to keep a focus on that. Let's take a look at gold. You notice that gold's approaching the 1800 level. We actually went right up and tested it this morning. Here's a daily chart, and last week we had talked about how 1780 was really the big area to watch when this rally started from 1600. We had the gap here and never came back to test it. We've now closed that gap. We're above 1780 and at 1800. Last time we were at 1800, it proved as a pretty good area of consolidation. So we'll see if the market kind of comes up here, if gold comes up to 1800 and starts to consolidate a bit before deciding whether to come back down and test the 1700 area or continue higher and break out. Remember, the big drop came after several days of consolidation around 1800, so it'll be important to watch how the market reacts to this 1800 area as we've now approached it. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, our TradingPub rule of the day is liars figure, but figures never lie. Watch the numbers, focus on the numbers. And if you're interested in joining our next event, actually is going to be the TradingPub presents Gold and Silver Outlook for 2012. You can register at our website by clicking on Pub Events. Hope everybody has a good day and good trading.